Today I'm reviewing the Riemann P20 Face Sunscreen with SPF 30. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase these products with my own money. I'll never waste your time with sponsored ads or videos. So if you want to help support the channel, check out nobsbeauty.com, check my Patreon community, or click on the links below. So today I've got kitties, which I thought the tiger with the unicorn was like the most magical animal ever. Well, maybe next to like a myrmicorn. Did I just patent that word, myrmicorn? Is that a thing? Myrmicorn, that's like... Anyway, this is like almost as magical as a myrmicorn, which I'm going to patent, and then I'm going to sell the myrmicorn serum. The myrmicorn sunscreen. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so this is kitties. So I thought a tiger was kind of appropriate there. So, okay. And safe away from Ike and Lincoln's mouths. Okay. Myrmicorn. I think I made that up today, but you know what? I make up a lot of words every day, so maybe I already made it up or someone else did. So, okay, anyway, so this sunscreen I was so excited to finally try because a lot of people talk about it quite frequently. This brand has a lot of different sunscreens, a lot of spray sunscreens. I personally prefer lotions, so that's why I picked these two. These are both pretty similar in texture, feel, and everything else, but this one's a little bit higher SPF. But anyway, so I'm going to talk about the face version today. So, okay, Riemann P20, seriously reliable Suncare, has photostable UVA and UVB filters that gives you up to 10 hours of protection with just one application. Personally, I just don't recommend only applying sunscreen once a day if you're outside. I think reapplication is important. It's great that this one will provide you up to 10 hours of protection with one application, but if you're outside all day, reapplication is important. So I just want to put that in there. This very water-resistant formula means it's ideal for beach, pool, or sports with the lightweight, non-greasy cream texture. Makes it perfect for use under makeup. Stable formulation, very water-resistant, 5-star UVA protection, non-greasy, easy to apply, suitable for the whole family. Personally, when they talk about the greasy thing, I kind of respectfully disagree a bit. It does feel a little greasy, but I'll get to that when we talk about texture. So packaging, I love the packaging. Pump bottle, no issues, very easy to use. In terms of alcohol, this does contain propyl alcohol. It's about halfway down the ingredient list. Probably not going to be an issue for almost anybody that uses this, but those with very, very sensitive skin or skin issues or skin irritations could notice a little bit of sensitivity, especially when you combine it with chemical UV filters. Propyl alcohol just functions as a solvent in cosmetics. It's so far down the ingredient list that I think most people can use this without any issues, but just in case you're very sensitive, because there are some that are very sensitive or have skin issues, I should mention that. In terms of fragrance, this has no scent, really. It has a bit of the sunscreen smell, but it has no fragrance, no essential oils, things like that. It has that kind of sunscreen smell when you initially apply it, but it dissipates mostly pretty much after a half an hour or so. So if you really don't like that sunscreen smell, it does dissipate. I don't like the sunscreen smell. I'd rather have that than fragrance, but if it lasts and lingers all day, I just can't stand that. But this one I can use fine because after about 15 minutes to a half an hour, it's not noticeable. Okay, the manufacturing location for this one is Denmark. And kind of interesting story behind the brand. It is kind of a small family brand that was created, so check it out. Okay, SPF. So this one has SPF 30, which is a good baseline number for daily use. Although if you're going to the beach, you're going to be outside all day, or if the sun is really hot, the UV index is really high, I'd go with an SPF 50. But this is just fine if you're going to be outside here and there a little bit on an average day. 30 is good. 30 is what you want to use every day. You don't want to go much lower than that. But if you're going to be out, obviously a little bit higher is good too. But the higher you get, diminishing returns. 50 is not really almost double of 60. It's just a small percentage, but still, if you're outside all day, that small percentage will make a difference. Okay, so UVA protection factor. So this contains a good amount of UVA filters. Has 5-star UVA protection, which is the highest possible level, which you can get. So I think it's the Boots 5 stars. And it indicates ultra protection. So 5 stars is hard to get, so it means it has very good UVA protection, which based on the filters, I believe that. So let's talk a little bit about the filters, then we'll talk about the texture. and white cast. Okay, so for filters, for UVA, we've got 2 dedicated UVA filters, which is Uvinol A+, which is very high UVA protection, very photostable, and can be used pretty much in all countries except for the US and Canada. Of course, because the US FDA cannot, even an act of Congress will not make them approve any new filters. I have a feeling I will die before they approve any new filters. Prove me wrong, FDA. I'm challenging you. I'll pay you $1. Okay, we've got another UVA dedicated filter, which is avobenzone. Very common, special kind of filter because it's approved everywhere. UVA ray absorber, very effective. It typically is never used alone because it is very unstable, but when you use it with other filters, they can help that be more stable. So you'll never see it typically alone, or if you do, don't buy the sunscreen. So there we go. So very good. They've got 2 dedicated UVA filters, which is very impressive. Then we've got a UVB and UVA2 filter, which is isochrotrinazole, also known as Uvasorb HEB. And that one's a UVA2 and UVB ray absorber, very oil soluble, and also helps with other ingredients that are unstable, such as avobenzone. Okay, then we've got UVB and UVA2 filter, Octocrylene, which is an oil-soluble sunscreen agent. That tends to be one that people can be sensitive to more so than other ones. There's some people that really are allergic to it, so keep that one in mind. And then we've got one more UVB filter, Homosalate. Not a super strong filter, but when you use it with other sunscreen agents, it helps it work better, such as avobenzone. So we've got a nice list of ingredients. It's kind of amazing to think that some sunscreens were able to come on the market with 2 little filters in there. And now we're looking at this one, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 filters. And this one's SPF 30, and the other one had 2 filters and SPF 50. Anyway, okay. So, white cast. So, let me apply a little bit of this one. So, once you start smoothing onto skin, it looks like it's going to have a white cast, but then, once you keep smoothing it, it disappears. So, for my pale skin, I don't notice any white cast at all. Perhaps if you have deeper skin tones, you might notice one, but this one applies pretty clear. So it seems like most people don't have an issue with white cast with this one, and I don't either, so keep that one in mind. Texture of this one, so to me, I know how they say it's not greasy, but to me this does feel a little greasy, and I have a feeling if you have very oily skin that could be more of an issue. It is definitely shiny, so it's not the most cosmetically elegant feeling one. It's got a lot of oil-soluble filters in there, so that makes sense. But kind of a thicker texture, and when it sets, it kind of is a bit tacky. Then ease of use, smooths over skin pretty easily. P20 says you don't really need to apply this sunscreen, but I just disagree with that. I think if you're outside and you're very concerned about it, you're better off reapplying it than not. That's just my thought. The other thing is, if you wear light-colored clothing, be very cautious of this, because I've read a lot of people that have had clothing stained or ruined from this, especially if you wash shirts that have touched this with bleach. So keep that in mind. It's got to be one of the filters that do it, but I just haven't noticed that with any other sunscreen. But if you're wearing a really nice, expensive bathing suit, you might not want to use this one with it. But then again, would you rather have your expensive bathing suit or be burnt? I don't know. Okay. So there we go. So you can see it's pretty greasy. I don't know. People that say it's not greasy, maybe they have really, really, really dry skin. I don't know. But that is the thing I like least about it. So, okay, antioxidants and beneficial ingredients. So I was really thinking this one would have a really impressive list, but we really don't have that. We've got 3. We've got squalane, which is a skin-identical ingredient and antioxidant, great ingredient. We've got vitamin E, antioxidant, hydrating ingredient. And then sunflower seed oil, which is an emollient. So, not much, but I guess they're antioxidants, which are in there, so that's good. Okay, in terms of acnogenic ingredients, we've got 2 that were just on the beneficial ingredient list. We've got squalane and vitamin E, and then Cetearyl alcohol. So we've got 3 of note. So not a huge issue, but keep that one in mind. In terms of animal testing, I did find that they were cruelty-free on their site, but now that I'm looking at the bottle, I don't see anything else. So, I don't know. If you have a link to any information about their cruelty-free status, just leave it. But, and you know what, the regulations in Denmark might be a little bit different too, so I don't know. Leave a link. Okay, in terms of performance, this one, it does do a nice job protecting skin. It certainly is very sweat resistant and water resistant. So if you're sweating or exercising a lot, that's something to keep in mind. Reapplication of this one is pretty easy unless you're applying it over foundation or makeup. And then it gets to be a bit cakey. It doesn't really pill much, but it gets to be a bit cakey. So if you're reapplying this and you're not wearing foundation or makeup, it's easy. But if you're wearing foundation, makeup, or powder products, it gets to be a little bit messy. But otherwise, it does a great job protecting your skin from sunburns and damage from UVA rays. The price, so I found this on a site because this is kind of a harder to brand. On Amazon, they mostly have the spray products, but I think I bought this from glowico.com. GLOWIECO.com, Glowico. So, 50 milliliters, which is 1.7 ounces, retails for about $30. So, about average, not really expensive, especially for good protection. So, with a 15 being a perfect score, I gave this one an 11, which is pretty good. I just had a couple issues with the texture, the greasiness of it. I think those are my main issues, and kind of just... Otherwise, it does provide great performance, but this isn't one. On just an average day, I'm going to be in and out a little bit. This is not the one I pick. But if I'm going to be outside all day, this would be one I would pick. So, just because it doesn't feel the nicest. And especially, I have a feeling people with oilier skin probably have more issues with the kind of the texture of it. But overall, it's still a really good, high protection sunscreen. So, anyway, those are my thoughts on the P20. I'm interested in hearing from you guys if you have a favorite P20 product or if you've tried this one and what your thoughts were. So definitely leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. And stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thank you so much.